Hello everyone and welcome to my studio, The Made in the Maker. I'm Kae Pea and I'm here for the STAMPDown to Christmas. Woo! I just thought I'd do something, sorry, I get a kick out of myself. I just thought it would be fun to do something a little bit different. And, back in July, I cannot believe it was July already, I did World Watercolor event where I did a watercolor every day, and it was really fun. I just loved it. I know a lot of people seem to really enjoy it. I had quite a great response, and it really kept me in a great flow. So I thought, I want to do something in December because I'm mostly going to be here in the studio every day. So I thought it would be a great way to count down to the holidays, get in here and just get a little makey with all of you. Do something just to not only showcase some of our awesome stamps from RubberMoon, but also a way to just sort of get together with you all and spend a little bit of time just playing for fun. So what I thought we would do is just color a stamp image every day. Well, not every day. I don't guarantee that I'm going to come on the weekends, and I do have to be somewhere on Friday, but I am going to mostly be live every day here on RubberMoon TV for the month of December at 11 a.m. Central. Now, I know I got a little bit late start today because the kids were home for Thanksgiving, and they were just leaving to go back to college. So I had to take the morning to make them breakfast and say my goodbyes. And so that's the reason why I started at noon today. But I figured since it was the first day, that would be okay. So hold on. I think we're having some technical stuff going on. So just, some audio things. Okay. It's okay. That's what I'm hearing. So is anybody here? Not on yet anyway. Do you want me to start over?
No, you're good.
Oh.
Just keep going.
Mr. Moon came in and said something was going on with the audio. So hopefully I wasn't just babbling for nothing. It probably was. So far, I know this is sort of spontaneous a little bit. Like I haven't really been talking a lot about it or, making a big deal about it. So I don't even know if anybody's going to join me. But you know what? It doesn't matter because I can sit in my studio and color by myself all day long. So this is what I thought I would do. I thought I would take a different stamp from one of our great designers. We have so many. Oh gosh, I hope I can even name them all. We have Marilyn Kelly, who this is the stamp that I'm going to be coloring for and with you today. And this is a Marilyn Kelly stamp. I am going to be doing some of Mary Engelbreit stamps, some of Elizabeth St. Hilaire stamps, some of Natalie Kalbach, some of Sandra Evertson, Sunny Carvalho. Oh my gosh, who else? Of course, Maxie Moon and myself. And oh gosh, we have a lot of great designers in our lineup. So I will be pulling one of my favorite stamps from their collection and just come on here and color it with you. Now, sometimes I might color with pencils or markers. Sometimes I might paint them. Maybe I'll use pastels. Oh, I don't know. Watercolors, acrylics, whatever. We'll just see what strikes me, and we'll color a stamp image every day. So how about that? We're going to call it the STAMPDown to Christmas. And then, of course, don't forget that we are going to be running our 12 days of Christmas beginning on the 12th of December. We just had our greatest sale of the year at rubbermoon.com, 30% off, and we have tiers of different gifts with any order, and that is going to go through tonight at midnight. I'm doing this really as a shameless self-promotion, just to let you all know, we are going to be doing a different special for Cyber Monday, okay? Cyber Moon Day, and I will be live all day tomorrow. So I hope that you'll look for that and join me for part of Cyber Monday at least, or we like to call it Cyber Moon Day around here. Just so that we can hang out and get makey together. So I'm going to color this image. This is a Marilyn Kelly image, and it is, let me actually, you know what? I am so remiss because I didn't even pull up the image number, so let me find that for you real quick. And I can tell you the exact stamp that this is. I'll try to be a little more organized in the future so that I can tell you what stamp is what. Let me look for Marilyn Kelly stocking. And then we'll get started coloring. So this is Marilyn Kelly's Joy stocking, and it is number 972K. And of course, you can find that at rubbermoon.com. So right now, I have just stamped this image onto a nice piece of white cardstock. I used my Moonlight Duo, just the black side, okay? I inked it up and I stamped it right here on this nice piece of cardstock. It's a little bit more creamy colored than the original one that I did. If you all saw our little ad for Black Friday, this is the image that was on there. Okay, so I just colored it and I superimposed it over the top of that little thumbnail. So I thought this would be a fun way to show you how this is how I used to color everything pretty much. So a little bit of alcohol marker. Okay, so you can use Copics. I don't have very many Copics around here. I have all my old Prismacolor and my old Tria markers. I just have a few of them here. I have a red, a blue, a yellow, sort of an orangey yellow, and a gray, a real light gray color. And again, it's a mixture of Prismacolors and Tria markers. I don't even actually know if they make Trias anymore. And then I have a bunch of Prismacolor pencils, and I just have some random colors picked out, and I'm going to just dig in. I'm going to base layer everything with some marker. And if you know the Tria markers, then you know it has a very, very fine point. And underneath that cap, it has a double cap. It has a bullet tip. And then the other end is more of a chisel broad tip. The Prismacolors are a little bit different. You have a broad tip that can also be held and worked in a way that you can use it sort of as a medium tip, and then it also has a fine bullet tip at the other end. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and, like I said, I'm going to base layer with some marker. Again, alcohol markers are going to be a little bit different from regular markers. If you have used Copics and things like that, and the Prismacolors have been around for years, then you know that they're a much smoother way to color if you want to use marker, but they're also very strong. So you need to make sure that whatever you're coloring, that it won't matter if it penetrates to the back. The nice thing about the alcohol markers is that they are, again, they don't leave a lot of lines, and they're just a much, like, I don't know, a much stronger color than if you're using water-based markers. They don't pill your paper the way water-based markers will, and they're much easier to layer than if you use water-based markers. Water-based markers really don't layer well. That little super fine tip is really great for getting into the little tiny detail areas. Or for, of course, adding little details. All right, so like I said, I just base layered those few stripes with my markers, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of gray now, and I'm going to hit the edges of the white stripes, and that will help it to just get a little bit of depth and make it look a tiny bit more sort of dimensional. And I'm going to continue to base layer all my little areas. So like, for example, the little duck's beak is an orangey color. So I'm just going to put down a little bit of orange marker there. And also, if you can see, some of the areas have some little dots that are sort of hinting at shading. So I'm going to hit those areas with a little bit of color. What's nice about using the markers to base layer underneath your pencil is that you can get all of your beautiful gradations and your subtle, like your subtle color changes and all the layering that you enjoy with colored pencil. But when you base layer it with marker first, it just helps not only to really fill in all of the sort of fibers of the paper, but it helps so you don't have so much work to do with your pencil, which sometimes can be a little bit, you know, challenging when you're using only pencil. You have to work so much harder at it. You have to give so much more pressure and things like that. So this is sort of nice. Just getting that color on there sort of quickly. I'm just going to keep going kind of quickly just to get this filled in so I can get started with my pencil. And hi, Puff. Finally got to look up there at my monitor. I hope that you're having a great day and that you've had a good weekend. The same way that I did a little bit of gray around the stocking, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing around that candy cane. Oh, Puff. Yay. That's awesome. Makey's all day is the best way to be, right? Now this little stocking has a wing, so I'm going to fill that in just a little bit of color. And then you can start layering over with some pencil whenever you feel like you want to start adding some other colors. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my colored pencils and start just layering in a little bit of color right over the top of the pencil. And the really great thing is don't forget to use your white to really add some highlights and again make things look more dimensional and really give it some pop. If you need to sort of blend it in a little bit, then you would just want to take that same color in pencil again, like the red, and sort of go over that and smush it together a little bit. It's just the same with pretty much anything, whether you're coloring with pencils or whether you're painting, layering it up and really, adding the different values is what really begins to make a difference. So as we're sitting here chatting, I want to say I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. I hope that you had a great Thanksgiving and a great weekend, hopefully with friends and family. And if not, even if you were alone, I hope that you had an enjoyable time and some good food, and definitely that you got to get makey because, I think really art and creativity definitely help keep me going, and I hope that you feel the same. I think sometimes that being in my studio with all my paints and all my colors and my stamps and just all that goodness really brings me a lot of joy, and I don't quite know what I would do without it, to be honest. Right now I just want to do a little bit of rainbow on this lollipop, so I'm kind of filling in with some fun colors. All right, now I'm going to take a little bit of pink. Yes, sandy coloring is the best. It's really, I find it to be so relaxing. And you know what? After the busy holidays, we could all use a little bit of relaxing. I don't know about you, but I, again, am done in the kitchen for a while. I didn't even work that hard, to be honest, but it's just too much. And finally, I think I just need to add a little bit more pizzazz to the star up here. A little bit more bright yellow, and maybe a little bit of this electric green. And maybe a tiny bit more white to highlight some of the areas like the top of the beak. I don't know, maybe I should have zoomed in a little bit closer. What do you think? Sandy, do you feel like it should have been zoomed in a little bit more? It probably should have. I'll lower the camera down a little bit more for the next videos while I'm doing this. Anyway, and then of course, you know, if you wanted to go ahead and finish off your back piece, there's different ways. You could mask this off and color in a little bit if you wanted to. I think I'm going to actually take some Post-it notes, and I know you can't see on this card, but it has a little bit of an edge. Yeah, I'll zoom next time, Sandy. I didn't realize I had moved the camera up for a wider shot. I'm just going to mask this off a little bit just in case. I'm not really planning on coloring right up to the line, but I don't know, just in case I want to have this there sort of as a foolproof. I'm going to go ahead and use my marker to color in a little bit of the background. And of course I could stamp. I could use some masking film if I wanted to completely mask that off, or I could fussy cut myself a little mask if I wanted to do some over stamping. I'm not going to do any of that right now. We're going to keep this very simple. And I think I'm just going to take a real pale blue, maybe. Let's see if this is. And sadly, I'm really sad to say that this marker is the perfect color that I would love, but it's already sort of dried out. It gave me some false security when I was testing it. I thought I would have enough to do what I want to do, but since I don't, I'm going to have to pick another color now and hope for the best. That's one thing I was saying about these markers, is that they're a little bit smoother, and a lot of little streaks and things will even out a lot nicer than if you were using, say, a water-based marker. So I can actually kind of go in there and smooth things out a little bit nicer than a lot nicer. If I was using a water-based marker, I would not be able to do this at all. All right, so let's go ahead and pull those up. Hopefully it didn't soak through too much. I think it looks like it might be okay. And voila, I think it looks pretty cute. Oh, hey, Libby. So That's it, my friends. Just a little stamp down to Christmas and a little coloring therapy for myself and hopefully for all of you. I hope you'll jump in and join me just by coloring an image a day. And by the time we're done, we should have approximately, 20 to 30 images that we can use to create cards or, all sorts of other projects. But just again, the fact that we took a little bit of time for ourselves or to create something doesn't matter if we can use it later or not. I'm hoping that we will definitely collect these images and do something fun with them at the end of our time. But like I said, we may color with markers and pencils the way I did here today, or could be a number of other coloring or painting techniques. But we are going to stamp and color an image every day, mostly every day. I will keep you posted. This week we're going to tomorrow I'm going to be live for Cyber Monday, Cyber Makey Day, we're calling it, all day long, starting at 11 Central in the morning, and we're going to go all day long. I think I'm going to at least go straight through until like 6 p.m. I don't know. I haven't really thought of an ending time yet. It depends on how I feel, I guess, or how it works out. But we're going to start that tomorrow, and then every other day, not counting weekends, I will be here on RubberMoon TV at 11 a.m. to do our stamp down. And except for this coming Friday, I'm going to be out of town. So anyway, thanks so much. And I will see you and talk to you really soon. Have a wonderful day. And thanks for joining me for Stamp Down to Christmas. Talk to you later.